everyone to my channel. So today we will start with the next part of the unit 4 parasitic helminthes 6.7 paper 7 applied zoology 6th semester zoology syllabus CBCS syllabus for B.Sc course. Okay, so the topic is part 2 life history of and pathogenicity of Schistosoma Hematobium. Okay, in the last part we have studied the life history and the pathogenicity of Ancylostoma duodenale. It is a helminth parasite. Even this is also a helminth parasite, and this is usually it is liver fluke. It is a common liver fluke type of helminth. Okay, next. Skystroma Hematobium. Okay, so this was discovered by a person called as Weinland in the year 1858. That means the species was known by this person. Okay, so this is commonly called as vesicle blood fluke. Why? Because it is there. It lives in the adult worm lives in the vesicles or the prostatic and the uterine venous plexus. Okay, so visually vesicle blood fluke, it is distributed in the various parts of the Africa and Middle Eastern countries. Okay, and the adult worm lives in the vesicle or the prostatic and the uterine venous plexus. What is vesicle? First I'll tell you what is vesicle. Vesicle is a structure within or outside a cell. Usually this is the normal definition of a vesicle. It is a structure within or outside a cell consisting of liquid or cytoplasm enclosed by a lipid bilayer, and it helps in the process of secretion or transportation of the materials from inside to outside or from outside to inside the cells. Okay, it usually leaves, and also the plexus. What is venous plexus? Venous plexus means it is a network of veins. You know the function of the arteries, veins and the capillaries is to transport the blood. Okay, arteries usually carries the oxygen rich blood and the veins will carry the carbon dioxide rich blood. Okay, so venous plexus is nothing but it is a network of veins. Okay, so illi prostatic and uterine venous plexus anta helidre, so prostatic venous plexus is a network of veins which is present in the prostate gland, and uterine plexus means it is a network of veins which is present in the uterus. Okay, or the female reproductive system. This is related to the male reproductive system, and uterine plexus is related to the female reproductive system. ಈ ಎರಡು ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, or in a vesicle it will be there. The worms are very long lived. Okay, having a lifespan of about 20 to 30 years. ಓಕೆ, ಈ ಒಂದು ಒಮ್ಮು ನಿಮಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಇಯರ್ ತನಕ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಮೇ ಬಿ ಫಾರ್ 20 to 30 years. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಪಾಸಸ್ ಇನ್ 2 hosts. Here in the last part I said you that life cycle is having only one host. Here you'll have 2 hosts. One is definitive host and another one is intermediate host. Okay, so definitive host is a man. Okay, in man the adult worm is present in the vesicle and prostatic venous plexus. Then intermediate host is the freshwater snail. It belongs to phylum Mollusca. It is an invertebrate, and you can see the 2 species here. One is Bulinus Planorbarius and another one is Ferracia. Okay, these are the 2 species of mussels in which you can see, okay, snails, in which you can see the life cycle to be continuing for the this particular helminth parasite. Okay, now we'll see the life cycle. First stage is the egg, the embryonated egg. Okay, egg which is having cells divided into an embryo. It is passed with the urine of definitive host and gain access to the water. What happens is, from the man, the eggs will pass through the urine. Okay, humans in the urine mukantara enagate eggs pass agi. Okay, human is a definitive host for this. Pass agi nimge water jote mix agate and gain access to the water. Okay, then in the water what happens is Miracidia larva is the second stage. Miracidia larva. Okay, the ciliated Miracidia larva, it hatched out of the eggs. Okay, it will hatch out of the egg and then move freely in the water for intermediate host, and it moves freely in the water and then it passes into the next mussel. Okay, mussel is the intermediate host. Amele this particular Miracidia larva will pass us into a what I can say, a snail. Okay, then the Miracidia, on entering in its larval host, it penetrates into the snail and makes way into the liver. What it does is this larva will enter inside the snail and it will enter the liver of the snail. Okay, and in the liver it loses the cilia and other organs and undergoes the changes in 4 to 8 weeks. Okay, so snail body ಒಳಗಡೆ enter ಆಗುತ್ತೆ and it will enter the liver of the snail, and in the liver it will show the changes like cilia, it will loses its cilia, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಆರ್ಗನ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ciliaನ ಲೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. in the sense it will ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, it will discharge from its body and then changes itself, okay, for 4 to 8 weeks. Then sporosis to the next stage of its life cycle. The Miracidia is transformed into sporocyst and multiplies and forms second generation of sporocyst. Okay, so first and second generation irutte. Then the sporocyst give rise to fork tailed cercaria. Sporocyst inda nimge fork tail, okay, that means fork, okay, ಫೋರ್ಕ್ ಶೇಪ್ ಟೇಲ್ ಇರುವಂಥ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಲಾರ್ವಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಸರ್ಕೇರಿಯಾ ಲಾರ್ವಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ದಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಔಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಸ್ಪೋರೋಸಿಸ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸರ್ಕೇರಿಯಾ ಲಾರ್ವಾ ಇಸ್ ದ ಒನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಟು ದ ಮ್ಯಾನ್. ಸೊ ದ ಸರ್ಕೇರಿಯಾ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಅಪ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಸ್ಪೋರೋಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಸ್ಕೇಪ್ ದ ಸ್ನೇಲ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ವಾಟರ್. ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಸ್ನೇಲ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ವಾಟರ್. ಸ್ನೇಲ್ ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಲಿವರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬಾಡಿ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಸ್ನೇಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಎಂಟರ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ವಾಟರ್. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ವೆನ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಬಾತಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಾಟರ್. Then if the humans comes in contact with this infected water, if suppose humans ಈ infected water ಜೊತೆ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಬಂದರೆ, okay, like if they walk on that or if they bath or if they use for going to the washroom and all, so ಆ ನೀರು ಜೊತೆ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟಿಗೆ ಬಂದರೆ ಆವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, that time this ಸರ್ಕೇರಿಯಾ ಲಾರ್ವಾ, okay, will passes into the definitive host, that is humans. ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ಸಿಗೆ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, then the infection will occur. You will see the infection. Now, the cercaria penetrates the broken skin directly and gain access to the peripheral venule. So, ಇದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವೆನ್ಯೂಲ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ವೆನ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್? ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ವೇನ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ವೇನ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ಯು ವೆನ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್. ಪೆರಿಫೆರಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಔಟರ್ ರೀಜನಲ್ಲಿ, ಪೆರಿಫೆರಿ ರೀಜನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವೆನ್ಯೂಲ್ಸಿಗೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಸರ್ಕೇರಿಯಾ ಲಾರ್ವಾ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಎಂಟರ್. After entering, what it will does is, then they carried into the right heart, okay, right region of the heart, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ right side heart ಗೆ carry ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, and then to the pulmonary capillaries. Okay, these are the capillaries which passes blood to the lungs region. Okay, same thing, even yesterday I said you the same, almost the life cycle is same, but here you can see the two host here. Okay, then they carried to the left heart and then abdominal aorta, then it goes to the abdominal aorta and gain access to the mesenteric artery. It is moving through the blood vessels only. Okay, blood ಮುಖಾಂತರನೇ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ತೋರಿಸುತ್ತೆ. What is mesenteric artery or a mesenteric artery? It takes blood from the aorta and distribute it into the large portion of a gastrointestinal tract. Mesenteric artery is an artery which passes the blood to the gastrointestinal tract. ಅಯೋರ್ಟಾದಿಂದ ತೊಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಟು ದ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ಟ್ರೋಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನಲ್ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ಗೆ ತೊಗೊಂಡೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ವೇನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಅವೇ ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಟು ದ್ಯಾಟ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ತೊಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಇಟ್ ಡ್ರೈನ್ಸ್ ಔಟ್ ದ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ದ ಹಾರ್ಟ್. ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ದ ಹಾರ್ಟ್. ಹಾರ್ಟಿಂದ ಜಿ ಐ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕಿಗೆ ತೊಗೊಂಡೋಗೋದು ಆರ್ಟ್ರಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಹಾರ್ಟಿಗೆ ಬರೋದು ವೇನು. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ದೆನ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ the left heart then put to the abdominal aorta and then gain access to the mesenteric artery and then passes to the intestine, enter to the portal circulation. What is portal circulation? Portal circulation are the connecting veins. Okay, these are the veins, okay, which are an additional network of vessels between the arteries and the venous circulation. Okay, it is connecting bit of arterial ಮತ್ತು venous ಗೆ circulation ಗೆ connection ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, here the veins between connecting capillaries are called portal veins. Okay, so usually ಇದನ್ನು portal circulation ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. It is the connecting veins where an additional network of vessels between arterial and venous circulation is seen. Okay, then it passes to the venous circulation, portal circulation, where the larva grow into the adult. Portal circulation ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ larva adult ಆಗಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. It takes time for 3 weeks. Okay, then after becoming sexually differentiated, then the larvae will become sexually mature it moves out of the liver and migrate into the mesenteric vein, okay, and then into the pelvic vein, etc. About 1 to 3 months. For 1 to 3 months it remains as an adult hage 1 to 3 months tanka it will be there in the okay mesenteric vein, the pelvic vein. When the worms are sexually matured, okay, they become sexually mature, they copulate and fertilize the females, then lay eggs. Here female worm is different and male worm is, you can see the sexual dimorphism, male and female are different here. So they will fertilize when they become mature and they lay the eggs, and these eggs again will passes with the urine, okay, into the water. So the eggs matte humans in urine jothe pass agi water jothe mix agute, and again the life cycle will continue. Okay, here you can see this is the egg, okay, which comes in the urine, through the urine, and here from the urine it comes out in the water, and in water you can see egg in the Miracidia larva or Miracidia larva hatches in water after 16 hours. It is free living, and then if this larva is ingested by the snail, okay, and then in the liver development within the small intermediate host. Snail is the intermediate host, okay. Hilly primary sporocyst, you can see this is the one, then you can see the secondary sporocyst, and then you can see the Cercaria larva, okay, in the secondary sporocyst. Then free swimming Cercaria released in water after 1 to 3 days, okay, and this is having a tail here. Then at this stage it will penetrate the skin of a man is a definitive host, okay, and then Cercaria sheds its tail to become Schistosomula, okay, it sheds its tail and it becomes a structure called as Schistosomula, and then after this it will enter into the liver, mature in the intrahepatic portal vein, okay. Usually portal veins are passing to, portal means it is related to the liver. These are the veins, arteries and capillaries which passes the blood to the liver and take away the blood from the liver, okay. And then adult worms, you can see the male and the female adult worm in the venous plexus, okay, network of the veins. Here you can see the fertilization takes place, again it will lay the egg after fertilization, and the cycle will continue like this. This is about the life cycle of the, okay, it is commonly idana urinary blood fluke antanu kuda karitive, okay. Next, pathogenicity. Here the disease caused by schistosoma is called as schistosomiasis, which is characterized by, okay, ee disease na navu schistosomiasis anta karitivi. And what are the symptoms of this disease? If a person is having this infection, what are the symptoms and signs they will show? First is hemorrhage, okay, you know the hemorrhage is the bleeding, internal bleeding in the, usually in the nerves, blood ಹೆಡ್ ರೀಜನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಕೆಪಿಲರೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗುವಂಥ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಲಾಸನ್ನು ಅಥವಾ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹ್ಯಾಮರೇಜಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ದೆನ್ ಇರಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್, ಇರಿಟೇಷನ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ irritative effect irutte. Then pseudo tubercle around the eggs. When the eggs are laid, okay, you can see a nodule or a granuloma resembling a tubercle of tuberculosis, okay. Usually tuberculosis alli nimge yatara tubercle irutte atara ansutte around the eggs, you can see, okay. Then diffused fibrosis. What is diffused fibrosis? Diffused fibrosis is also called as myocardial fibrosis antanu kuda karitivi. You know what is myocardium? The heart muscles are called as myocardium. These are the muscles of the heart, okay. Myo means muscles, cardium means, okay, heart. Muscles of the heart are called as myocardium. What is, you know, a general definition of a fibrosis helbekadre? Fibrosis is a development of a fibrous connective tissue as a reparative response to the injury or the damage, okay, of some part. So yeah, you know, ಒಂದು ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಎನಿ ಕಟ್ ಆರ್ ಎನಿ wound or any damage in the internal body parts, to repair those body parts fibrous connective tissue is developed on that, okay. So for example, ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಫಿಂಗರ್ ಕಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, you know, you can see that a rough shaped new skin is formed, okay. If you fall, okay, your knee is scratched, okay, on that you can see a black colored new skin which is formed. So usually these are the development of a new fibrous connective tissue. It is that black colored dark and the rough skin what you can see, that is a fibrous connective tissue. Okay, it is to repair the tissues which has been damaged. Okay, then it will dry up and it will fall and the new skin will form, like that. That is called as fibrosis. Then what is this diffused fibrosis, or what is the myocardial fibrosis anta helidre? So it is invasion of the myocardium by fibrous connective tissue to such an extent that there is an interference with the action of the heart. What happens is, you can see the development of the formation of the fibrous connective tissue in the muscles of the heart. Okay, if this happens, there is a problem in the circulation. Okay, heart problems will be there. Dermatitis. What is dermatitis? It is a skin inflammation which causes skin to be dry, swollen and red and itchy. Okay, then liberation of the toxic metabolites. So this when the larvae enters inside the body, it will release some of the toxic substances. It leads to fever. Okay, then eosinophilic leukocytosis. So what is there are two types of blood vessels. Okay, so one is red blood cell and another one is white blood cells. White blood cells are also called as leukocytes. Okay, leukocytosis anta helidre, there is an increase in the number of white blood cells, okay, than the normal one. ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಲ್ಯೂಕೋಸೈಟೋಸಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ವೈಟ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್, ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಮೆನಿ ವೈಟ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಲೈಕ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರೋಫಿಲ್ಸ್, ಇಯೋಸಿನೋಫಿಲ್ಸ್, ಬೇಸೋಫಿಲ್ಸ್, these are the different type. Okay, lymphocytes and all. Then what is eosinophilic leukocytosis anta helidre? It is a type of leukocytosis where you can see a large number of eosinophils. Okay, so usually you can see increase in the number of WBC is due to the infection in the body. When infection occurs, or when there is some inflammation, or when there is some injury, that time your WBCs will increase. So increase in the number of a eosinophil is called as eosinophilic leukocytosis. Okay, then enlarged liver will be there and spleen will be there. Because of the increase in the number of the WBCs, usually liver and spleen will be inflamed. Okay, then hematuria. What is hematuria? So it is blood in urine. We can see very small amount or very large amount and very negligible amount of blood coming through the urine, okay, along with the urine. So these are all the different symptoms or the signs which shows that the person is being affected by schistosomiasis, okay, having this particular disease. So let me tell you what we have studied in today's class. We have started with the pathogenicity and the life cycle of Schistosoma Hematobium. Okay, then I said it is commonly called as urinary blood fluke or vesicle blood fluke. Okay, and it the place where it is distributed and where the adult worm lives in the vesicle or the prostatic and the uterine plexus. Okay, lifespan is 20 to 30 years. Then there are two hosts. One is definitive and another one is intermediate. Definitive is a man, okay, and intermediate host is a snail. First is egg. It hatches into Miracidia larva. Okay, then Miracidia larva will develop into sporocyst, and this takes place in the snail, and then it will develop into from primary to secondary sporocyst, and from secondary sporocyst Cercaria larva will comes out. Okay, and Cercaria larva will develop itself into an adult. Okay, then adult will fertilize again to give the fertilized eggs, okay, to lay the fertilized eggs. This is the life cycle, okay, about the schistosoma. So here you can see pathogenicity. Okay, schistosomiasis is a disease which is caused by Schistosoma Hematobium. Okay, these are the different signs and symptoms of that particular disease. Okay, what is pathogenicity? It is the ability of a parasite to cause a disease, or ability of a pathogen to cause a disease. What is pathogen? It is a disease causing organism. I have been telling you this. Okay, so this is about this particular helminth parasite. With this, I will be stopping today's class. So thank you, students.